A very good morning to all of you. Welcome back to class 6 computer science, and as we are moving with our syllabus for quarterly exams are over. Now we are going further and preparing for the upcoming half yearly exam, which is going to be conducted in the next month. Okay, in the next month after all the festival vacations are over, as per it is given in your diary. You can see the dates of your exams, and so we have already started chapter 8. We have started chapter 8, and in that we have already discussed with us that how to use the animation effects, how to use the transition effects, then adding the audio clip, video clips, and different action buttons within your presentation. Now, in this session, we will discuss about importing data from other applications. Okay, sometimes it may be a requirement of use that when you are preparing the presentation, so suppose if you want to compare two or more values together, there may be a possibility that you want to use some spreadsheets or file from MS Excel, or you want to use some Word document here, okay, or you want to use the notepad, or you want to use some picture which you have or image which you have created in Paint program. So there be a chances that you may require a data, or you want to use some of the files which you have created in some other application program. So in order to how to use that particular data within our own presentation. So this particular topic is related to this, importing the data from other application softwares from within our presentation, how we can use it in our presentation. Okay, then the another topic which we will discuss it is here, viewing the slideshow. As we have already discussed about slideshow view when we are discussing about the different types of views in the last chapter. We have already discussed about slideshow view, but again in the slideshow view there are some of the important features. Some of the important features are there, like rehearse timing feature is there, which we can use within our presentation. Then how to print the presentation, what are the different types of printing options are available, how to print the presentations. Okay, so let's begin with the topic, today's first topic, how to import or how to use the data or the file which we have created in other application program other than PowerPoint application program, and how can we use that particular files or program within our presentation. Okay, so let's start. So first of all, we will open the same presentation as we are using the one which we are using earlier. So this was the presentation which we are using from the last few classes. Okay, now the first topic today is using the data or importing the data from other application. Sometimes you may face an instance where you need to import or add a material of some other format that belongs to other applications such as MS Paint, MS Word, Excel, Photoshop, etc. So MS PowerPoint gives us feature that includes using that particular feature we can import data of other application programs within our presentation. So the first step in this is that first of all you open the presentation, and then you just click on insert tab, and then you go to the object, you click on the object option, present under text, Now you have clicked on the insert tab. Then this is the text group. This is the text group where you will get the options of text box, header and footer, word art, then date and time. If you want to use the calendar, you can use it here. Then slide number. If you want to write the slide number, you can use the slide number. Then you will get the option of object. Okay, and as we click on this object, our insert object dialog box opens. Our insert object dialog box opens and it has two different headings: create new or create from file. Create new option if you want to import an empty application. That means that if you want to open a blank application program, you can choose the create new option. Okay, you can choose the create new option. And the second one, create from file, click this option if you want to import an application with its data. Okay, so now see, when we have clicked on the insert tab, as soon as you have clicked on the insert tab, within text group, here you can see the object option is given there. Object option is there. When you will click on this object option, it opens an insert object dialog box. An insert object dialog box opens, and here you have two different options are there. One is create new. The first one is create new. If we choose create new, it will give you an option that suppose if you use here create new and you have choose the application program as MS Paint. You have used the application MS Paint or bitmap image. Okay, then what it will do? It will just open a blank MS Paint window. It will open a blank MS Paint window. Whereas if you choose the second option, create from file, then what it will do? It will open the application program, that is MS Paint, along with the file which you want to use, the file which you have already created in the different application program will be used within your presentation. Okay, so this is the major difference between these two options. Create new, it will open a blank application program, whereas create from file, it gives you option to use any existing file which you have created already within that particular, using that particular application program. So suppose if we choose here create new and bitmap image I have selected for any image file and done. Now you can see the paint program. Now you can see a paint program opens on your screen. The paint program opens on your screen, and suppose I have created this image. Okay, I have created this image, and then now you can see that particular image is being used. Now you can see the particular image which we have created now itself is being used within our presentation. It can be used here within our presentation. In same way, if you want different application programs, if you want to use a different application program, go to insert text group object, and suppose here I select Excel worksheet. Now you can see the MS Excel files with tables, rows and columns is visible here. The different rows and columns are visible here, and within this you can write your data. Like this. You can preview your data here. Clear? And it will be displayed like this. And you can drag it from one location to another, or you can increase the size or decrease it. Even you can decrease the option to browse. You have to select the file which you want to use it here. You have to use the file which you have already created. So from desktop, so I select, suppose I select one Excel file from here. Selected the file. Now click on OK button. Now you can see that particular file with the school, section, roll number, subject and marks has been used here. Or I will show you the another example. This is the picture which we have used. This is the picture which you have used. Okay. So this is how you can insert any file or any data which you have already created or want to create using other application than PowerPoint, and you can use it within your presentation. Clear? Now we move to the next topic, that is viewing the slideshow. The term slideshow refers to an electronic presentation. The term slideshow refers to an electronic presentation that can be viewed on the computer screen or through a projector. It is a sequence of slides viewed in a different sequence, and a slideshow can be of two types. One is interactive slideshow, another is self-executing slideshow. Okay, so now we will talk about some more details in the slideshow. As already we have discussed the slideshow view, where we learned that when we start the slideshow, we have two different options. Either you can start from the first slide, or from the slide number 1, or you can just start your slideshow from the current slide which is displayed on your screen, and the shortcut key for this was F5. Now the slideshows refers to the electronic presentation that can be viewed on a computer screen or through a projector, and it is a sequence of slides viewed in a defined sequence. It is a defined sequence. We have already defined the sequence. If you want to change, you can just drag the slides and you can change the sequence of the slides in which they can be shown. Okay. Now our slideshow can be of two different types. One is interactive slideshow and another is self-executing slideshow. In the interactive slideshow, this type of slideshow, the user has to click or press the enter key for the advancement of the slide. In the interactive slideshow, whatever example till we have seen, whatever example which we have till now, I have shown you is the way of interactive slideshow, where we need to click on the mouse, or we have to click on use our keyboard, the arrow keys or enter keys to move from one slide to another slide. Okay, that is called when the user is required to press or click the mouse button or use the keyboard to move from one slide to another slide. It is called interactive slideshow. Whereas another one is self-executing slideshow. The another option is self-executing slideshow, where in this type of slideshow, a time duration is set for each slide, and during the slideshow, the slides will be played automatically without user interference. Okay, as when we are talking about transition effects, when we are discussing about the transition effect, we have discussed that we have two different options. Either you can use the transition effects according to the mouse click, You can use it according to the mouse click. I will show you. Now, as in the transition effect, we have how does the slide changes. How we have the option that we can define how does slide changes one after another. You have two different options on the mouse click. Either you have the option of mouse click or you can define the time interval. You can define the time interval 10 seconds or 20 seconds as per as your choice, and it can, after that fixed interval of time, the another slides automatically comes up, and okay, so one after another the slides will be displayed after the fixed interval of the time. Okay, so this is the way in which we can make our slideshow either an interactive slideshow or self-executing. If you are choosing on mouse click, it is called interactive slideshow, and if you are giving us time duration, if you are defining the time duration, it is called self-executing slideshows. Okay. For self-executing slideshow, the rehearse timing feature available under the slideshow tab is used. Okay. For self-executing, when the slides will be displayed one after another by themselves, we have another feature that is called rehearse timing feature. The rehearse timing feature is used to record the time to present each slide of the presentation. It is used to record that how much total time duration does we require to complete our presentation. Okay, through that we can record and we can manage our presentation, or we will try to complete our presentation within given duration of time. Now, why does the rehearse timing feature is important? Because when you go for any conference or seminar, meeting or seminar, every speaker has been given a fixed interval of time. Okay, you don't have a whole day or one or more than 1 or 2 days for you to speak on the same product. Okay, you have fixed interval of time, and in order to present your or to explain about your product or topic, you have allotted time duration, and in ability to complete your presentation within given time duration, you can use the rehearse timing feature and you can record the timing of your presentation, that how much time does your presentation takes to complete. Okay. And if you are not able to complete your presentation within given time duration, what you can do? You can again work out on your presentation and you can remove or exclude some of the topics which are not required, which are not so much important to be discussed. And this is how we can prepare a good presentation or interactive presentation within fixed given interval of the time. So the rehearse timing feature is used to record the time to present each slide of the presentation, and according to the recorded time, the slides will be advanced automatically during the slideshow. Okay, that is the user intervention is not required to advance the slides, and it is the quickest way to set the slideshow timing. Okay, now suppose that in our presentation there are 11 different slides are there, and the time duration given to me is 10 minutes. Time duration given to me is for 10 minutes. So what we will do, we can use the rehearse timing feature, and I will practice it, and I will record the time duration required by me to complete each and every slides, and then I will check whether I am able or not to complete my presentation in given duration of time or not. If it is not, I am not able to finish it, I will again work out on my presentation, and I will try to remove some of the topics or want to remove some of the slides which are not so much important to be discussed or to be presented. Okay. So let's see how we can use the rehearse timing feature within our, or how to create. So what you can do, click on the slideshow, click on the slideshow tab. Okay, as you click here, you have the option of rehearse timing. You have the option of rehearse timing, and this is how you can now, as we have started this slideshow, now on the top you can see a timer is going on, and it will record the total time duration which is taken by you to complete this particular presentation, each and every slide, to cover each and every slides. Okay. So the first slide you can see, for the first slide the 28 seconds are taken. Now the second slide's timing is being started. So this is how we can able to find out that what is the complete time taken by us. So this is how we can find out and rehearse or practice for the presentation, and we will make our presentation more attractive and interactive, and we will try to complete within a fixed interval of given time duration. Okay. So now you can see, as we come to the end, the total time for your slideshow is 1 minute 6 seconds. Do you want to save the new slide timing? No. Okay. So you can set a timer. As we are not explaining, we have taken a very less time. But if I go on explaining each and every slides, now it will take a little bit more time, and this is how we can practice and we can set a time duration for each and every slideshow, and then we will try to finish our presentation within given time interval also. Okay, now we come to the last topic, that is printing of presentations. Printing of the presentation. Now you can take the printouts of your presentation to print them in order. Suppose if you want to provide the hard copy, if you want to provide the printed copy of your each and every slides to your audience, you want to provide a printed copy of your slides to each and every audience, you can print your presentation. You can take the printouts of your presentation, and for that what you have to do, first of all, open the presentation which you want to print. Suppose this is the presentation which we want. Then now you can go to the file tab, click on the file tab. Now as the file tab is open, now you can click on the print option. Now in the print, this is the print dialog box is there. Now you have to select the printer. First of all, you select the printer. From which printer does you want to take the printout? Then you have to select the number of copies. You have to select the number of copies. How many numbers of copies you want to print? Okay, and then now you can see here, this is the print dialog box. We have clicked on the file tab, select the print option. This is the print option open. Okay, first of all, you select the printer. Click from this dialog box, click on the printer through which you want to take the printer. Now you have to define the number of copies, how many number of copies you want to print. Okay, if there are 20 people are going to be present in your presentation. Okay, you are going to give presentation in some meeting, and there are total 20 members are there. So you can take number of copies 20. Okay, it depends on you. Now in the setting option you have different options like print, or if you want to print all the slides of your presentation. Okay, if you want to print all the slides of your presentation, you can select the print all slides option. Again, print selection gives you option to only print the selected slides, Third option, print current slide, that is it will only print the currently opened or displayed slide on your screen. All others it will not print. And the custom range gives you options to print a selected range. Like suppose if you only want to take the printout of presentation slide number 7 and 8, you can only in the custom range you can define slide number 7 and 8, and it will only take the printout of those slides itself, like this. If I select print all, it is okay. If I select print current slide, it will only print the first slide. If I select custom range, here you have to define the slide number, like I have defined 7,8. Then it will only print the slide number 7 and 8. Okay. Now another option is print layout. Option is there. In the print layout option, there are two important things. One is full page slide. That is, it will only print the text or an object which is present on the slide itself. On the complete page, it will only print the text which you have or if you have used any picture, it will be printed on this. Okay. If you select the note page, if you choose the second option, notes page, in the notes page option, it will print the slide along with the speaker note which you have added. In the notes page option, it will print the presentation along with the speaker note or the explanatory notes which you have added for that particular slide. Okay, and the third option is outline. The outline only prints the text which are being used in that particular slides. It will only print the text which you have reused in that particular slide. Other all objects, like if you have used any pictures, graph, chart, okay, everything will be removed. It will only print the text which you have written in the outline. Next is handout option. The first handout option gives you one slide, that is one slide on one paper, then two slides, that means two slides in each page, 3 slides, 4, 6, 9, 4 vertical, 6 vertical, 9 vertical. Okay, like this. Suppose we choose 9 slides option. I select here print all slides, and I have selected 9 slides already. Now you can see here. Now in this side you can see the first 9 slides are shown here. That means the slide number from 1 to 9 will be printed on one page itself. If I select the another option like print 2 slides, so only 2 slides will be printed one after another. like this. Okay, this is how you can print the slides. Then you can, from here you can give the, either you want to have a portrait orientation or the landscape, you can define the orientation of the page. And if you want the color printout, grayscale or pure black and white printout, so you can choose the option from here and then you can give the print command. You can give the print command. Okay, and your printout will be taken. So this is how you can take the printout of any presentation and you can distribute it among the audience, those who are present within your meeting or the seminar or the conference, and it will be easier for them to listen to you, okay, or to understand about your product. Okay, so this is how we come to the end of this chapter. And I hope that you are able to understand the things which I have explained to you, and still if you have doubt, you are free to contact me at any moment of time and I will try to clear your doubts. Okay, till that time, thank you and have a very nice day.